Well, hello there, guys. Coming at you with another multiplayer battle here in Ultimate General Gettysburg. And in this particular battle, I'm playing as the Confederacy as the Union attacks Benner's Hill. So this should be interesting. Wish me luck, and let's hope that we can get a victory here. Okay, guys, the battle is commencing, starting in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Yankees are going to go ahead and basically try to assault our positions, and I guess what we have to do here is hold them under any circumstances. I could see a really strong position here on Benner's Hill. I'd like to bring the Tigers up there quickly, and I'd like to move Avery up here on Benner's Hill too, because this is basically the area we have to defend over here. I really hope that we can do a decent job here. I'm going to go ahead and actually run Avery up there. I'm going to run Gordon up there. I'm also going to move my cannons up here just to provide even more support, and I'll even have the Tigers run. Now, to be honest with you, I don't like running in this game. It's usually not a good idea, but in this case, I want to get into position in this battle. I want to make sure that I have every opportunity possible to get a victory. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue running here, and hopefully it'll pay off. We're going to go ahead and hold Avery at this point. We don't have to have him run anymore. Let's go ahead and get the Tigers in this wooded area here. That's where I want them to stay. And it looks like Doles is going to be hanging out over here, which is a bit not really where I want him, I must say. Hold, guys, hold. But this is where we basically have to accept him. We're going to go ahead and fire some canister shot. Gordon is getting to the top of the hill here, or to the crest of the hill, I guess you could call it. We're going to go ahead and switch over to canister here for all these guys. Canister for this guy too. And here we go for Kane, and I'm hoping we can go ahead and just take him out with one nice volley. I'm going to keep Doles over here to watch the enemy flanks, but I don't think it's enough. As you can see, it looks like he's sending almost all of his men over here to this western part of the battle, which I don't like. Let's try to move Green over here. We'll move Second Corps up to the top of the hill. Looks like we're getting some pretty great fire actually down on the enemy. And right now the enemy seems to be moving forward. I'm not sure yet. But we're going to keep Doles in that position there. Again, if the enemy starts advancing too much, we do have to be careful. I'm going to go ahead and open fire on Iron Brigade with the Tigers and with Avery. Hopefully Tanner can also shoot here at the Iron Brigade and get a nice flanking shot on the enemy. Unfortunately, they took out one of our cannons, and that's probably the result of me just getting them way too close to the enemy troops. But if we can get one nice shot off here, I'm going to consider that a victory. In terms of this part of the battle. So there we go. Doles is already fighting Cutler over here. And I want to bring some units to support Doles, but I'm not really sure who could. At this point, all the other units are very busy fighting the enemy. And it looks like they've got, look at this, look at all these reinforcements here. That's craziness. So the Union has a lot of reinforcements, obviously. We need to watch for them, without a doubt. Let's go ahead and switch to Shell Shot, and we're going to turn over here and fire on Cutler with Green. So far the enemy can't get up the hill, but I don't like all this fire, this flanking fire here. It's really starting to bother me. So I'm going to go ahead and fall back up the hill, and hopefully I can find a better position up here. Because right now, as you guys can see, the enemy's advancing, and that's just not going to go anywhere for me. That's just bad. It's that simple. The Tigers are doing okay here, but as you can see, Doles is already being routed, which I didn't want to happen. It looks like Avery is also having some trouble here, pulling back a bit, but he may just be getting a better position on top of the hill, which is also possible. You can see we're shooting down on Candy, doing a pretty damn good job at it too. But look at this. They've made Doles fall back, and this is going to make it a lot easier for them to go ahead and flank us, which really sucks. I'm really hoping we get some reinforcements soon. I'm going to switch the Tigers over here to aim at Cutler. And there we go. The enemy continues to advance here. I really do want to go ahead and charge and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and do a charge. Hopefully this will go well. I'm also going to do a charge with Avery's unit. Let's go ahead and charge downhill. But I'm going to keep the Louisiana Tigers in position here. And here we go. Avery's unit is charging. This may be not the greatest charge for us, but we're going to try anyway. It looks like Candy is already in some trouble, unless the enemy's decided to charge with him too, which is possible. Let's go ahead and charge with the Louisiana Tigers. Why the hell not? At this point, we've committed to a charge. We may as well go through with it. So we're continuing here. Now, again, the enemy unit is actually moving forward on this victory location, so they're probably going to take it. In fact, without a doubt, they'll take it. what I'm wondering is whether or not I could take it back, whether or not I could force them off the hill with these charges, etc. So we're going to go ahead and try to get Gordon back into position here. We'll move Carrington up here, and I really desperately need some reinforcements in this battle. Like, desperately. I don't know how else I'm going to win if I don't get some reinforcements. This seems to be a problem in a few of my battles. I just run out of men. Over here, Avery and Louisiana Tigers are just doing a great job with the Iron Brigade, but apparently not enough to dislodge them. Candy seems to be running, but the Iron Brigade seems to be pretty strong. Nonetheless, we're not going to give up. We're going to continue the attack. Hopefully we can make a difference here. And there we go. Look at that. So even the enemy is actually retreating away from the 6,500 victory point position. Let's just try to get as many men as we can there from that area. Alright, Avery, Louisiana Tigers. I mean, this is true close combat here. So let's go ahead and hold at this position. We're going to hold Carrington at this position. I'm going to switch him to canister shot and fire at McDougal. And I want to make sure the second corps are in a safe place. Oh, beautiful. Avery's coming back to the lines, guys. It looks like the Tigers are too. I'm hoping we can catch these guys when they're not prepared here. Let's go ahead and see if we can maybe flank the enemy. That would be awesome. Look at this. We could have two different forms of fire coming down on the enemy here. One from this top of the hill, one from the other top of the hill. So I think that's just awesome. I'm going to go ahead and have the Tigers focus on Cutler. And let's have Avery get into position here. Soon, Avery, soon. And go ahead and defend the top of the hill. Looks like the men are very tired, and with reason. General Rhodes has come to join us. Okay, guys, we're going to be getting some Confederate reinforcements here. We desperately need them, and we need them to come in really quickly. As you can see, the enemy's actually carried out a charge over here on our Dole's brigade, and that's gonna hurt us, to say the least. I want the Tigers to hold right here in the woods where they were before. I want Avery to go ahead and switch back since he's not having a very good time finding a decent position, and that's okay, and Gordon can go ahead and take up this position here. We can have Avery fire some flanking shots into Cutler and Iron Brigade, which should work out pretty damn well for us, and Doles is going to get some of his stuff back, and his morale, stamina back. We're going to go ahead and move General Rhodes' division down. We'll move Doles down too, excuse me. And let's take a look at the other positions the enemy has here. 1,500. We're not too worried about 1,500. We're worried about the other positions. Again, we just need to get a nice position up here on this hill, on Benner's Hill. Really important in this battle. Let's see if we have any more. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so we've got more men. Come over here where the Tigers are, and General Johnson is here. All right, we need all the support we can get. It looks like we got Smith over here. We could definitely bring him up. So let's bring Smith. Let's bring all of these artillery pieces up to the top of the hill too. Dement, Rain. We're going to make this hill an impenetrable fortress, sort of like the Anthill in Paths of Glory, for those of you that have seen that movie. That's kind of what I'm going for here. But I need these men to get there soon. So I'm actually going to rush this a little bit. You guys know I like to do this. I'm going to go ahead and run one of these units with Daniel and with O'Neill. I'm going to run over here to Dole's position. And we're going to grab this guy over here. It looks like we got Iverson, and get him to the top of the hill as soon as possible. I'm expecting the enemy to go ahead and try to launch an assault pretty soon. Let's actually make a more direct route for Smith here. So they're probably going to go ahead and get these guys all nice and set up and ultimately charge on our men. I'm guessing that's what they're going for here. Okay, here we go. We can stop running with Daniel. We can stop running with O'Neill. And go ahead and just continue to attack the enemy, try to press the enemy's flanks as best we can. Over here, the left is a bit of a huge part of contention, I should say. We don't want to, let too many men through here, Cutler or the Iron Brigade, to damage us on our left flank. That would really be bad, so we want to do everything we can to avoid that. I'm going to actually go ahead and send Cutler over here, because I get the feeling that the enemy is going to go ahead and launch an attack on that hill really soon. You can see them sort of setting up here, and I think they're building a nice formation to go ahead and attack the hill. Can't say I blame them. So we're going to do everything we can to go ahead and defend against them. I'm going to put O'Neill over here with Doles as well, but we're going to move Iverson and Daniel over here to the hill immediately. And look at this. It looks like we got Stonewall Brigade. Beautiful. We're going to bring Stonewall Brigade over here. We're going to bring Nickel over here for some reinforcements to the hill itself. And let's get Jeb Stewart, to go over here in the wooded area, perhaps. Maybe we could sneak around the enemy and do something crazy. Why not, right? We might as well. So we're going to go ahead and bring Jeb Stewart over there to sort of flank the enemy troops. All Alright, here we go, guys. So it does look like the enemy's definitely pulling back here. Avery is aiming at someone. I think probably Cutler and Iron Brigade. It's amazing how they still have range on those guys. I mean, that's pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and let them fire away. I'm getting a lot of artillery shot coming in at us. And this is one of the other reasons why I want to go ahead and start flanking the enemy at least a little bit. Alright, let's see. We're going to go ahead and move one of these guys, Daniel, into this wooded area. Since the enemy's left this area undefended, I'm going to take the bait. Always love a nice wooded area, so we're going to go ahead and move there. Keep firing, boys, keep firing. Look at that Union battle line. I'm surprised they haven't moved forward with it, but I'm not complaining. I'm definitely not complaining. Alright, O'Neill. Alright, a lot of guys here on this flank, as you guys can see. We're going to move O'Neill up. We're going to move Doles up too. Daniel's already basically moving up. I just want to get him into some better cover here. So let's do that. Stonewall Brigade. Let's have him over here. And Nichols will be the reinforcing unit for these guys. Here we go. So we've got Stewart is moving in still. We've got Jones over here. We may go ahead and set Jones to go with Stewart. That's what I'm going to do. If we need to bring him back, we certainly will. But right now, I'm just trying to confuse the enemy as much as possible. Let's go ahead and get some shell shot on Green. If our men are able to spot him out of these woods, they may not be able to because of all the tree cover. No, there we go. Awesome. Very cool. So we are definitely getting some hits on Green. More worried about this area over here on the left, and I think the enemy has spotted that that's definitely my weakest point. So he's probably going to make a concerted effort to try to take that. Let's get Iverson to take Avery's position. Look at Avery. He has held on the entire time in this battle. Much respect. Alright, let's go. Alright, Stewart, you're going to have to run, my friend. We're definitely going to have Stewart run here, because I want to do something to sort of get the enemy thinking in a different direction, namely away from these brigades. O'Neill's actually getting hit right now by cover. I'm not really going to do much. I mean, by cover, by enemy fire, despite being in cover. But I'm not really worried too much, because right now I'm more concerned with our center flank. And here we go, Iverson, Daniel. They're going to fire on Candy, who's trying to move up the hill. You guys can tell there. And we should be able to repulse them almost immediately. I'm hoping, anyway. The more damage we do to these units, the easier it's going to be for us to defend this hill. So here we go, guys. Stewart is getting into position. It looks like Green is turning to face us. And let's move Jones as well. So far, we just have a solid red line here, trying to do some harm to the enemy. Let's move forward a bit here. Make sure Green is firing shell shot at Cutler and Iron Brigade. We'll move Doles forward too. And I want to make sure Daniel starts firing at Cutler, because I'm worried about that. I don't like that he's getting so many good shots at us. Let's go ahead so Stewart can start firing. It's pretty cool. Jeb Stewart, the finest generals of the Confederacy. It really is a damn good general. Alright, let's see what Daniel can do here. Let's see if he can fire at Cutler. And while he's doing that, we'll move the Louisiana Tigers into his position. And maybe Dole's can assist here. I'm definitely having Daniel run, just because I want him to find a shooting position quickly. I don't want this to drag out. That would not be good. So there we go. He's already spotted Cutler. He's opening fire. Now, this is a little scary and a little dangerous, because it does seem like the enemy is trying to draw us out into a firefight. But I'm going to take the bait. Again, if they press here on the left flank, I'm not sure we can hold them. So I want to be very careful. And let's actually take Smith here, move him over here to provide some extra support. Alright, it looks like Green is going to try a charge up on Stewart, which is kind of weird, but let's let him do what he's going to do. So here we go. Stewart, defend yourself. You should be able to defend against this charge. Hoping anyway. Take off the run button. And here we go. We're going to be able to fire into Green's backside. Absolutely devastating shot here. It was probably not a bad idea to go ahead and focus an attack here on the eastern portion of the battle. Unfortunately, it looks like Doles is being Doles. I don't know what he's doing, but he got way too close to the enemy here, and I don't know what to do with him. I guess we'll just hold and just... Yeah, some brigades just are absolutely crazy at times. I'm sure battle does that to people. Let's go ahead and... Actually, Nichols going to stay put for now, but if we do need to move him up, we will use him. I want to make sure we don't have any other units we can use. And look at that. We've got green on the run, guys. We're going to keep moving forward with Stewart and Jones and just keep harassing the enemy's eastern flank. That's really the main point here. The Tigers, they're hurting. Let's move them back to their original position. Look at all the Confederate dead we've got on top of this hill. I mean, we have given, you know, blood, sweat, and tears to hold this position. So if we lose it now, I'm going to be so sad. Let's go ahead, fire on green. Come on, Stewart. Just shoot. We're gonna go ahead and hold here because our men are having difficulty. There we go. Alright. Alright, so here we go. We've got Ames trying to make it to the top of the hill. It's to be expected. We're gonna go ahead and try to hold them back. Move Iverson up just a little bit more here. We'll move Nickel up a little bit more here too, just sort of readjusting our lines. And there we go, we've got Ames on the run. So once again, another brigade that we've repulsed. At this point, I don't know what else the enemy can do besides just try to attack in force all at once. But they may be trying to slowly build up the morale of these brigades, which is what I think they're doing, and waiting for that final moment until they have no other choice but to attack. Wouldn't it be great if we could also take this 1,500 victory point from the enemy? Wow! Alright, the enemy's getting a lot of reinforcements here. Burbank, wee day! That's not good. I like the fact that we have some guys kind of hanging out here, prepared for them. That's pretty awesome. So we're going to go ahead and probably just hold Stewart and Jones here, since we know that there are approaching Federals. Alright, there we go. Keep up the fire, guys. Keep up the fire. Let's get Gordon on top here. So obviously the topography here allows me to get much better shots on the enemy from this high height. So I'm going to go ahead and move both of these guys up here. You can see Iverson's already firing on Ames. It allows us to really shoot quite far away at the enemy. Alright, come on, do something with Cutler Iron Brigade and this guy, because that's exactly what I'm waiting for. Alright, here we go, guys. Day is on his way. Day is on his way. We're going to go ahead and aim towards Day here with Jones. And I want Jones to get into that position quickly, so let's go ahead and have him run. And we're just going to keep Stewart as is, just sort of firing here on Lockwood. Alright, there we go. Jones has already commenced fire on Day. Let's go ahead and see if Brown can start shooting at Day 2. I don't like that our guys aren't aimed in the right direction. There we go. That seems a lot better. Okay, it looks like Day's going to try for a charge. Pretty risky, I must say, but hey, I guess he's got nothing left. Alright, right at the last second, it seems he pulled off the charge, called off the charge, I should say. Probably a good idea. And we're going to go ahead and engage him just directly here, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and move Stewart back a bit to counter Burbank, Weed, the rest of these guys. Let's see if anything's going on in the west. So far, nothing really. We've still got a few units over here, McDougal, etc., Ruger, but they're not moving forward, which works out in our favor for sure. I'm going to go ahead and move the Tigers over here to fill up this gap. I don't like gaps, especially on a nice hilly position like this. So let's go ahead and defend that. And let's try to get as much shell shot as we can on the enemy here. Alright, there we go. So they're definitely trying to assault this position with 3 units. I mean, if we can't hold back 3 units, I should say, we are amazing, but we need to hold them back as long as we can. Alright, let's go ahead and turn this way, and we'll actually hold once we actually get into position here. I'm going to go ahead and switch to canister shot. Hopefully we can get a hit, and I'll move Brown forward a little bit. Come on, guys, come on. We want the battle to end soon, because, you know, the more time the enemy has to sort of whittle us down, the more likely it is that they're going to win. And I don't like that they're attacking this eastern flank in force here. Let's go ahead and see if we can get Brown to fire on them. And I'm not going to run with Stewart, but I really wish he would move a little faster. There we go. We've got some canister shot coming down. Beautiful. Okay, Gordon, what are you doing? I want you to stay put. I'm going to actually have Gordon hold here. We got one volley off on McDougal, which is pretty cool, but really not necessary. Okay, so Stewart is going to go ahead and take Jones' place here. I'm going to go ahead and hold with Stewart. And I'm hoping that he can do a pretty decent job here at holding back this horde of enemy troops that are moving over here on our eastern portion. But like I said, even if the enemy attacks the east, I'm just going to pull all my forces back and do a sort of circular defense pattern here on the hill. So even if that happens, I'm prepared for it. Let's make sure Nichols firing here at McDougal. He's causing actually some casualties in our lines here. Alright, the enemy's brought up all of his cannons. Really smart move, actually, by the enemy. Because this way he can just basically pepper me with shots constantly. And that's going to hurt. Now, here we go. So the enemy is charging with Weed on Jones. I'm going to go ahead and hold Jeb Stewart here. Or actually, should I countercharge? Let me countercharge. I'm going to go ahead and countercharge here. I'm not even sure if that's the right thing to do, but I figure that you should do everything you can to defend your brigades in trouble. And it does look like Weed is falling back. So at the very least, we forced one of the units to kind of retreat here, but you guys can see they've got Willard, Gibraltar, Burbank. He's got a lot of units here to defend him. Oh, Jeb Stewart is continuing that assault. Unbelievable. So now Day's also in jeopardy. Really, really cool here, but now finally Jeb Stewart's pulling back a bit, and it looks like things are sort of evening out once again, but yeah, that was a bloody little fight there, I must admit. We're still firing with Daniel. That's awesome. We're still firing with Gordon. As long as we still have a steady stream of fire on these guys, our chances are much better than they were before. But like, if you take a look over here, you know, things like this are going to hurt us big time. At least Stonewall Brigade is able to keep firing at Weed and Green even as they retreat from that failed charge by the enemy, although it's kind of failed on both our parts. And the battle continues, guys. And hopefully it's not going to go into overtime, but I'm sure I just jinxed myself. I love that I had Stewart and Jones go over here, despite the fact the enemy had so many reinforcements. Honestly, if the enemy had pushed my left flank in this battle, probably would have lost. So again, I might still lose. I don't want to jinx myself, but if this doesn't go into overtime, I'm very happy, because this will be one of the few times it doesn't. Let's go ahead and move the Tigers forward a bit to face Lockwood. 50 seconds left. Well, really not 50 seconds, 50 milliseconds perhaps. And come on, Victory Agrippa. Yeah, wow, battle delayed. What? Defeat? Really? But how? How did it get a defeat? Okay, very confused, very, very confused. I guess I missed one of the major hills here. Incredibly enraging, incredibly enraging. And look at that, 6,500. Oh, this game sometimes. Well, I'm a captain now, guys, and I've absolutely moved back completely in rank. But I hope you guys enjoyed the battle anyway. I thought it was a fun battle. I'm really annoyed that I didn't see that second hill, but whatever. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure to post your comments down below, and have an awesome day.